Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of Deal or No Deal Island, Season 2, Episode 3. It's the DONDI After Show. I'm Jonny Fairplay, joined this week, holy moly, it's Miranda Harrison, Season 1, your favorite exterminator. Question,
Yes.
if you don't mind, Jonny from North Carolina, first time, long time. Miranda, do you own an exterminator company called Ladybugs?
That's in the works, but it's not owned yet. Well, I mean,
Okay.
I guess the LLC, but there
Oh,
was a no compete contract with the company that I was in with Terminex Pest Control. It's one of the largest now.
I'm
So
familiar with Terminex. Yeah.
right, so
So you
they
you had
they
signed
got
a
good
no
lawyers.
compete and went on a show. It was like, hey, I'm going to compete.
Yes, no, and here's the no. Well, I mean, I don't have a no compete contract with anybody else, but if I were to open up a business, they would be afraid of me taking all their customers, which I probably would.
Sure.
So it makes sense. So
You have a
there's the
no
dilemma.
compete for the area.
Yeah, so it's no compete pretty much like within a certain amount of miles. Once if they find out that a lot of my customers cancel Terminex, they'll go into like a investigation, and if they see that I stole a bunch of their customers, then I could get sued. But there was a law that was just passed saying that there's a no compete, like there's no more of that. So we're still digging deep into that. So I don't think there's anything about a no compete contract anymore.
So does that mean you just have to move?
Yeah, honestly, that's what it seemed like. But we're working on because I mean, I work the islands. I work Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, Captiva. And to be honest, if I didn't work these islands, I don't know if I would have been in pest control this long. I love to
Yeah.
study entomology and stuff, but my route is just a grid route. I don't like different areas. It's different. My route is a bunch of people who own homes and they're not renters. Renters bring in bed bugs. It's a lot more work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's different. I don't know. It's I can bring it to another state and stuff, but then it would just be not near the islands. So that's my problem.
Yeah. I worked in property management for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I was undefeated. I was the Undertaker at WrestleMania. I was undefeated in court. And it was funny because I got a new blower for my wood stove, and I'd put my old blower on the Facebook Marketplace, and this guy met me at Food Lion. He was like, "Hey man, you're that guy that does them evictions," and I'm just like, "Yeah, I don't do that anymore." He goes, "You're real good at it." I was like, "Was it?" He goes, "You kicked me out, no problem."
No, that's crazy. He has a great personality. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
business is business. I do understand business is business, so you just have to be more of a dog eat dog than the person. A lot of the times my clients think that I own Terminex because
sure. Well, there you go.
they don't even talk to Terminex. They talk to me. I deal with the
Yeah,
chemicals.
yeah.
So yeah, I
You
might
you
take
do
over.
not look like the exterminators that I dealt with when
I
I did property management.
Yeah,
Like,
well, a lot of the times people think like you've got to be an old, nasty, like man to be in, like to study entomology. I mean, entomology is literally the study of insects, and you got to know what insect. You also got to study being kind of like an arborist. You got to know what plants you're spraying. Then you got to understand the harmful things that are going to be around you when you're mucking yourself through the mangroves or someone's backyard after a hurricane. There's so many things that could come up. I
yeah.
mean, it's an awesome job to have. It's I'm known as an essential, so like when shit hits the fan and there's hurricanes, I'm allowed to be out on the road. Nobody likes to have cockroaches in their house. So
Sure. Did you
yeah,
ever watch that show, Billy the Exterminator? What was that on?
it
T-
sounds very familiar. I've seen the movie Joe's Apartment, where it was
yeah,
like his whole
yeah.
apartment was
Billy
filled
the
with roaches.
Exterminator was a show, I want to say on the History Channel or one of those, and it was this Joe Dirt mullet looking guy. It was just like, "Hey man, you got some bees? I can get them bees for you." And so yeah,
You know what I think? And he had his own show, and they followed him around. He was like a
yeah, Billy
wildlife
the
guy.
Exterminator.
Okay. I think I watched that and I wondered why I don't have my own show. And it's funny
Well,
because I
yeah,
had the name
because
sponsor.
you do not look like Billy. I mean, you are the counter opposite of Billy. That's the exterminators that I've dealt with,
I know,
and
I know. And I think that's why they like, because I've been in pageants. I won Miss Florida one year. You know how I see myself as like Miss Congeniality.
Sure.
You know, where she's in a pageant, but also she lifts up her leg and she has a Glock or whatever on her thigh. You know,
Yeah.
she's ready to kick some ass. So I mean, and a lot of the times, a lot of older women and the like retirees, they love to have a woman come to their house. A lot of the times they'll have grandkids, they're not home, they don't want some old random man just going in their house.
Sure.
They want me to come over, ask me how my family is, what I'm doing, make me some coffee. So it's, you know, I've built a rapport with my customers for 5 years, and we're like family. They don't even have to be home for me to take care of any issues. So it's quite nice.
They might be scared of your Kevin Federline cornrows currently, but otherwise, I think you'll be fine.
Sometimes, you know, they wonder like, who is this person outside my house? I'll be like, it's just me. It's
It's
okay.
just me. I have Kevin Federline hair this week. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it can be predator hair, so I'm taking the compliment. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, nobody's got heat with K-Fed in 2025, right? I think K-Fed got pardoned the other day. I think we're good. All right. It is episode 3, season 2. Chain of Command is the name of this episode, and we start with Dr. Will showing up at the post-temple dinner, and he says, "This is awesome, and can I interrupt?" And if Dr. Will is allowed to have the floor, he would like a 15-minute monologue in which he explains to everyone that he is the greatest Big Brother player of all time. It's been 20 years. In that 20 years, he's become a millionaire. He has a trophy wife. He has 2 kids. He goes anywhere he wants. He has over $1 million. Did he mention the $1 million? He'd like to talk about the $1 million. He's been to the world's largest Starbucks. You would think Dubai. Nope, Chicago. Probably never been there because you're poor. You don't have $1 million like Dr. Will does. And hey, you understand what I'm talking about, Parvati. You've been on Survivor plenty of times.
That was epic, and obviously it was all a setup. Like the whole,
Yes.
and the funny part was like, "Hey guys, can I interrupt you?" Like, don't even ask. You're definitely doing it. But it was
Yeah.
very.
Oh no. The can I interrupt you was what I think he was hoping for a no.
I honestly, I probably would have been the no. I would have been like,
Yeah.
no. But obviously, I'll continue. I think the
Yeah.
best part was when he got on there before sitting down and he threw his shoes like that. You know,
Yeah.
like he literally, it's like he walked into his house, threw his shoes, like,
Yeah.
I'll
This
get
is
my
his
maid.
house now.
My maid will pick that up. And I just, you know, he's very entertaining and I like him. I don't know how we would get along together, but I feel like I would, you know, we would have some good conversations if he
Yeah,
would talk.
I find myself in the same role as production and some of the other Islanders because
Okay.
I saw an article that was out last before his appearance last week, prepping America for his debut. And someone in production is just like, he got here, everyone hated his guts, production hated his guts. This guy
Yes.
was an asshole from top to bottom. He sucked. 2 days in, we're just like, oh my God, I see why he's here. He's fucking great. We love him. And some of the Islanders began to love him. And I will say this. I've been friends with Dr. Will for 20 years. Like we've known each other. We did a commercial together and some other TV projects and stuff. I love Dr. Will personally.
Right.
He made a odd appearance on Traders last season. Was it last season or the one? I believe it was last season. It was just odd. Like he was just sitting in front of one of the challenge houses, like in a rocking. It was just weird, and he came across as weird. And then a couple times on Big Brother, he's shown up like. And just it's just like, oh, this isn't the Dr. Will that I remember. Like I enjoyed Chilltown Dr. Will, that was cool. And what I saw last week, I didn't love.
Yeah. It was a little too much.
Tonight is the Dr. Will that I love.
Yeah.
Dr. Will is back.
I agree. And you know what? They did say in that article, here's what I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, but Will was actually last
an alternate. Yeah.
Right. Like who was gonna take Will's place? Whoever that was, I'm so sorry. I don't think it would have been as good as Will.
The rumored innuendo was the suitcase chick from last season.
Oh, Claudia?
Yeah, that's the rumored innuendo.
Oh, I mean, I love Claudia. So
that's no Dr. Will.
Wait, if Claudia's the banker, oh my God, that would be crazy.
It's kind of a letdown.
Oh, come on, but it's so crazy. Oh, I know,
Well,
because we're
I
thinking,
mean, like
we're
you have
listen,
Harvey going. I'm
rewind it.
pretty sure it's Beyonce, and you're just like, what if it's Claudia? I'm just like, I don't remember Claudia's name. I mean, no shade.
Oh wait, maybe you're thinking Meghan Markle.
That's that
It
that
probably won't. Probably
that
won't. Right?
rumor is going around. So
I mean,
my two guesses were Oprah and Rosie O'Donnell,
so
which
I
I
did.
feel Rosie O'Donnell's a lot more doable. I mean,
I think Rosie's got that dark sense of humor for
yeah.
sure, and
Well,
like
I
I
mean,
think she would.
she was in love with Survivor back in the day. She would have the guests on, and she would give them cars. The
Right,
Survivor cat. Like if you
right.
got when you got voted out Survivor, like seasons 2 and 3, or maybe one, whatever. She had the Rosie O'Donnell show. She would have the castaway on her show. She would ask you what would happen, what went wrong, and she would give them a car.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
where's
mean,
Rosie when we need her?
but was she a Deal or No Deal fan?
Well, I mean, we got Parvati and the Golden God.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But also, it's literally more. It's that's the thing. It's Deal or No Deal. It's not Survivor. We're
Okay,
bringing
well, yeah,
Survivor.
so we were talking before we went on the air. You're just like, is this still
Yeah,
Deal
like that's what I'm
or No
saying.
Deal
Is
Island, or is this
exactly.
becoming Survivor?
Exact. So it's only the third episode, so I'm
Yeah,
hoping that we see more of Deal or No Deal because it's feeling a little wishy-washy with it. But it's we'll see how it goes. I just want to continue to keep that Deal or No Deal because that's the whole thing. Before I got on the show, I wasn't watching Survivor. I was watching Deal or No Deal to be able to learn my percentages and when I go up against the banker and all that. So
I would,
I
I
don't
would,
know. We'll see.
I literally, so I binged season 1, right after it finished, and like I could literally fast forward through the Deal or No Deal parts.
Oh, the
What?
temple.
What? The
The
temple? Yeah,
temple
yeah. I
part.
don't care. Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
it is, I know, but that was like that's why I was so excited because like I didn't watch a lot of reality shows, didn't know who Boston Rob was, but
sure.
I freaking love Deal or No Deal. I mean, I was so happy just to go up against the banker because some people went home and not even played Deal or No Deal. They just did challenges,
Yeah.
and I get it. Some people don't like the
I'm
temple
finding
part.
myself liking the. Here's my
That's
problem.
where the drama is.
Here's I don't understand. Like for some reason, and I'm smart. For some reason, when it all happens, I'm just like, okay, I have this briefcase, and I need this to be higher. Like it, like I just go dumb.
It's definitely, to be honest, it's all about probability and it's all about luck.
Yeah, well,
Uh
no, I get the probability part, but I'm just like, but where does my briefcase fall in this whole probability? Like, I understand, like the part of, like, I know it's just like I should take the deal because there's a 75% chance that I'm correct. I get that
right.
part of it, but I'm just like, but where does as I said, I don't know why, but I get it after the fact, but during in the midst, I'm just like, why does this? I don't know. So it's
Yeah,
just
so that's I mean, and that's the whole thing of Deal or No Deal.
that's
You're
the
just
whole
trying to
gimmick.
it is. That's like
It's
what Deal
literally the whole gimmick.
it is. And
I
it's
got it.
beating
I
the
got it.
banker. It's
It's
beating.
okay.
So that's why at the end, when people at first, when season one, we were at some you could see we were kind of afraid to go up against the banker.
Sure.
But then you could realize going up against the banker could be in your favor.
Well, that's how you control
So
your destiny.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or, where everyone else wants one person out, but you want the other. And, like it took a while for us to realize, controlling your own destiny is probably better than being safe and then just being voted out for no reason.
Yeah, being I mean, it's like the term they use in Big Brother is backdooring someone, and
Yeah.
literally the premise of Deal or No Deal played correctly is just continuously backdooring people.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like season one when Branson went home. Branson was the first one to go home and he didn't even play against the banker. Now, Luke was the first one to go home, but he actually had a chance to redeem himself. Now, Branson from the first episode, he had no chance. Like it was literally, he got on the island and he got exiled, and that was it. There was no chance for redemption. And it was kind of sad on how he left because, he did try to help out. But in this episode, with Luke and him being the first one out, he had a chance.
Yeah.
And now Rock.
Yeah,
Like,
now Rock. We'll get to the Rock of it all. So,
mm,
um, so Dr. Will outs Parvati as a Survivor contestant, and the Golden God refers to this as it's like someone farting in an elevator.
yeah, because you can't run from it. You gotta just like the way, I'm sorry if I say her name wrong because I'm still
Parvati.
trying.
No,
Parvati.
I was telling MG last week. It literally took, and Amy the week before, I believe. It literally took us 15 years as a Survivor community to figure out how to say Parvati, and Jeff Probst took about 10 years.
Right. So hopefully she doesn't hold any grudges when
Yeah.
we say something. But with her, the way she acted though, the way she got up and left was dramatic. If I was outed like that, I just would have stood still and been like, okay. Like, yep, you're right. You're right. But other than that, I mean, she got up and she's like, oh shit,
That
but
I
a lot
don't
of
think
people
that's the
knew.
worst reaction, because if you look the next day, it's just like, it
Yeah, she tries to do yoga with them and tries to make them forget about it. And it was like,
yes,
what?
hypnotizing yoga.
Yeah, not no. And the people in the water, they were. I think it was CK and Chazelle. How do you say her name?
Facial.
Seychelle. Love that name too. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
both in the water. They were like, I'm not
I'm
doing
here.
yoga.
Seychelle was on the bubble episode 1 for me because I didn't want her coming after the Golden God.
Right.
I don't feel like she's coming out. I mean, you just protect your friends. I don't feel like I am here for Seychelle. See, Seychelle's got words, and I'm here for her words.
I know, 100%. I honestly, she's like somebody who I can relate to, and like the fact that she's saying like, I'd rather cry in a Lambo. Same, girl.
Yeah.
I want to cry in a Lambo.
Seychelle is like I could imagine Seychelle sitting over here at my bar right now and just just dissing everyone in the room and everyone's dying.
Yeah, her commentary is needed, to be honest.
Great. She's great.
Yeah.
So she is not the old aunt that Lachelle is, that I'm not here for. So, but it's okay. All right. Well, so the next morning, MG tells the Golden God how Survivor works, and the Golden God goes, "Ooh, tell me more." And she explains that Survivor's like Deal or No Deal Island, but there's 2 tribes and they merge into one, and it's so much harder. And anyone that wins Survivor is a genius, which the Golden God is happy to hear about that. He literally says, "Tell me more." And she does say it's a good thing that she did finally figure out who Parvati was, because anyone who doesn't know that person was on Survivor would think she was stupid.
Oh yes, and then I love
meet the Golden God.
I know she's rolling in her, like, I know she's
she's loving it. She's posting it on her Instagram stories.
Yeah, no, I completely, and like the way he winked at the camera afterwards was just candy. I was like, that was chef's kiss right there.
Yeah.
But that's how I felt with Sydney. Did she know that he had a wife? Like, was she? I mean, I'm sure the whole thing.
So, based on conversation, the interview I did with Sydney, the Golden God told her day 2. So the pretty much all of the commentary that we have with Sydney oogling or whatever over the Golden God was done on day 1.
Okay, there we go. So that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean,
I mean, if I'm the Golden God, I'm not in a hurry to tell. I mean, like, look at him. Like, that's what. Like, that's what he brings to the table. Like, look at.
Parvati does the same thing too. She gets the guys under her. And it's all about the game, so it makes sense. Unfortunately, in my jurisdiction, for season 1, I was the only single person. Pretty much, they did not want any romance, so it was fine. I was like, I just got to be a bro and a friend. I guess we're just bros and friends here. There was nothing else.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it was
romance.
There was not one drop of romance. Not one. No, it was like, I mean, it was cutthroat survival, but it was like no romance. It was just like, we're all just messing with each other, like picking on each other, like brothers and sisters, trauma bonding. Pretty much, that's it.
Oh, wow.
That's
All
probably
right.
why they brought in a romance for season 2, because they're like, man, we need something different.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't feel it's not just like why not? I mean, like on House of Villains,
Right.
season one, you had I was dating, soon to be engaged, Johnny Banana, like Corinne and Johnny Bananas and Fisa were brought there for a reason.
Yeah.
So
Drama.
Shake is also there and single, but there is it just didn't
Listen,
matter.
if they wanted to bring a hot man on there for me, they knew I was single. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah,
They
but
could have
but I
had
don't,
all
but
of
if
it.
I'm making a show, I have that as an option on the menu.
Right. It should very well be. I mean, come on. Everyone's talking about family, and I'm over here like, well, damn,
I'd like to make a family.
Yeah, like, hello, I'm 30, turning 32 soon. So,
Sure. Who's to say? Who's to say?
it's okay.
All right. Parvati is creating a zen moment of distraction during meditation. Don't worry, Dr. Will's here to disrupt that. And Will reveals to the camera, he's like, look, he goes, I know I'm a bad guy. I embrace being a bad guy, but I'm looking at Parv as a distraction for me.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, I mean, 100%, but then why is he not also, does he not know who the Australian god is, or the golden god? Does he not know who that
Apparently
is?
not. And see, that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at all these Facebook groups, and these people are like, how can no one know who the Golden God is? I'm like,
Well, he's in
lady,
Australia.
A, I mean, you have to be a fan to watch Australian Survivor.
Yeah.
I'll go one step. No one's watching anything on Australian television, much
Yeah.
less
Can we
Australian
watch?
Survivor.
I don't even think we can watch
Well,
anything.
you have to use a VPN, or you have
Right.
to, you have to go to the dark. Like, if you go to realitypatron.com, I have links to
Okay.
Australian Survivor. You can watch there. Not a problem. More than happy to have you guys there.
Good to
So
know. I definitely wouldn't have known who he was. And I didn't know who Boston Rob was when I was on the show. So, I mean, that's definitely an advantage.
yeah,
That I would think that Will would want to get the other big man out, because when you got a man to man at the end of the game, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying?
he.
Like,
Well, you hear the Golden God on tonight's episode basically say, I'm because the Golden God leans into he's a model in real life.
yeah.
And
Okay.
he'll lean into the model thing to downplay his threat level, because it's just like, oh, he's just a dumb model.
Yeah.
So if Dr. Will is seeing dumb model meat shield, he's like, I'm keeping the dumb model meat shield here because he's an idiot.
Only if he feels like the dumb model meat shield isn't after him.
Well, I think right now the Golden God's not showing his cards.
No. Oh, you know who he is watching after? He's both Parvati and the Golden God are both watching at CK now.
Yeah.
After
Well,
watching that
CK
episode,
is now like, whoa.
both of them have mentioned CK. Will said it in the temple, and then Parvati said it out also when they made the decision about who was going to be the bottom two. And yeah, so both of them had mentioned CK, and that's what I've noticed in the last episode. So
CK's threat level is a little like I
she's
foresee
smart.
CK going the next episode or the episode after. Like I feel like there's
There's
a
a high
two
threat
episode
level.
expiration date on CK.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody supposedly nobody knows what she does, that she's works in the bank or is a poker player. But the way she went up to Phil and Parvati that moment, and the way that she's kind of getting to Parvati, because Parvati's kind of like, okay, this girl's good. I need to watch out for her. So like she's getting the respect from Parvati. She is. There was a moment where she got the respect because Parvati wasn't really
I
talking
don't think
back.
I'd use the word respect. I think she's got Parvati's attention.
Okay. All right, we'll be nice. We'll be nice and do
Well, I
the
mean,
attention.
you can say respect. I say attention.
Right, we'll have to ask
I play
Parvati
very
that.
similar to the way I just have a mental approach to the game, and CK would have my attention, not my respect.
Oh, okay, got it. Right, right. So yeah, so that's what I've noticed is, I mean, CK is a very strong, like didn't she win? She's been up there once and then she won once. So she's definitely out there.
She's out
And
there. Hey, she's there to play the game. I'm not here for a CKC. Like CK
yeah,
is not giving me the television that I
no,
want.
and I get it. I mean, the first, when she introduced herself and they asked her, about season one, she said she didn't like any of us.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
why, why hate on us right away? So I'd like to hear her afterwards. But
Sure.
other than that,
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't see her making it to the end, but I do hope she, with all that she's doing, I hope she does take home some money at
Yeah,
least.
well, I would like her. Like I like gameplay, so if there's an obstacle in front of a player I like or don't like, I want that obstacle there. Like I don't need this to be like nothing happened this season. So yeah.
100%.
So if CK is a stumbling block for Dr. Will, Parvati, or the Golden God, collectively or individually, I want to see that battle.
I think it's gonna happen. I think they're all
Yeah.
gonna
Oh
at
yeah.
least. I think next is gonna be probably CK, if not Letty, because obviously she's very strong as well. She's tall, agile. She's got.
Letty took a back seat this episode, but I still think she's
She's coasting.
she,
Listen. It's the ones that coasted. Even in Deal or No Deal Island season one, it's the ones that coasted. The
oh yeah.
ones that allowed everybody to go ham on each other, and then they stood. I mean, because that was me also. I was playing both sides. They didn't know where I stood, so you can win or lose with that situation. But I mean, sometimes it's good to coast on the back. I mean, that's what Wong did. He wanted to play it safe and got the case that he got, and then he realized in the end it wasn't you. He shouldn't have played it safe in that moment, but I mean at least he was safe, not from being eliminated.
Yeah.
So
So, well, Seychelles is here for the tea and not to be in a Nissan moving forward. So, shout out to our good friends at Nissan, which Seychelles does not care for. Uh, well, guess
I
what,
mean
folks?
if her, she was in an old beat up one. I'm sure the new Nissans are great, but
Yeah,
she wants
yeah, they're
she
great.
wants a newer version.
Yes. So, well, it's excursion time, and that means Joe is here, and it's raining again. Oh my God, nothing worse than excursion and rain. Well, this excursion, there are 12 cases buried on the beach under sand sculptures. There's a $4 million case and less throughout. There are going to be two groups. You'll be tethered to a rope with slack only for one to go for the briefcase and then go in ascending order afterwards. The Golden God's like, I'm going to go first because I'm the biggest.
I, I wouldn't. I would want to say that and just be like, I want to go first because I want to go first too. I get it. Like in that
Well, I mean,
moment,
he was so big that he basically pulled everyone, and they're just like, I guess you get to go. And then
yeah.
Philip's just like, hey, we're going to lose if you don't let someone, and I'm already here.
Yeah, because there was two circles.
Yeah.
So Phil was in a different one, and the Golden God was in another. And I also Letty was talking. She was doing the same thing because the Golden God already ran, and then in Phil's group, they're still trying to figure out like who's
Yeah.
going first. So then Letty was like, Phil, just go. And then
Yeah.
when he heard that, he was like, all right, and just took off. So you kind of needed that voice to just yell at somebody and be like, you're going first. Like
Exactly. If
he
not,
needed some
you're gonna
order.
waste precious moments.
Right.
So
Yeah. So
yeah,
sometimes taking dominance was the key because it didn't put any targets on any of each other's back. So the order that they went, even if he was more dominant and went first, it didn't put a target on their back at all. So it
yeah,
worked out
yeah,
that.
yeah. I think this excursion was made to put a target on your back, but I think like I felt it was diplomatic enough that it didn't. So
Yeah, and it was a
well,
partner thing again too,
yeah.
and it
So
kind of worked out for everyone.
Rock hates to lose, especially at wrestling and beer bonging. And if he were to
Excellent.
win Deal or No Deal Island, he would like to buy a Cybertruck.
Yeah, hell yeah, and put a camper in the back. Listen, Dawson from season one just bought himself a cyber truck, and he's like 26 years old. So I mean, and I've seen like, yeah, you can go camping with that shit. I mean, I'm sure it's roomy enough for him too. I mean, Rock's a big guy. I would have fully supported that shit when I
I
went
don't
on.
feel like Rock's a big guy. I feel like
He's
Rock's a very small guy
he's a
and a
big.
simpleton, but we'll get there.
Oh, he's. You know what? Sometimes those are the people. The
Salt
world
of
is
the
so
earth.
chaotic.
Salt of
What?
the earth. Salt,
Uh,
salt of the earth. We're good. All right. Rock's not spending money on Exterminator. All right.
hey, you never know. I'm
I
sure he's
feel
got
like he's
votes.
one with the bugs.
You'd be surprised. We'll have to see. We'll see. We'll get a MTV Cribs tour.
Well, I'm talking with Rock tomorrow.
Oh, great! You
Yeah.
ask him that. You
I
ask him that. See what
will.
see what he's hiding in his beard. You know that episode from Family Guy where
Yeah,
Peter Griffin had like everything. You
sure.
know,
All right.
I'm gonna be excited to hear his pod.
Well, on the opposite side of the spectrum, Dr. Wheel's going to throw the challenge to reduce his threat level and then do absolutely nothing.
Right? Is that what throwing the challenge is? Because again, nobody makes him walk. I think that was just what he was gonna do in his
Yeah.
challenge.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
No.
it definitely worked out. He had a partner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and he knew he could screw over it. So Dr. Wheel's here for television.
Yeah, he must have been very confident not going home that day.
I mean, they didn't fly him out to go home first.
I know, but what? Imagine. Oh, geez. See, that would be just absolutely insane.
Yeah,
So
but
I mean, for him
but
to
they're not. They're not. Like, I mean, I could see like if he did face the banker, like, he'd be like briefcase number 6 and like, I mean, 5.
exactly. Like Joe would be like, "Are you sure you don't want to maybe flip over the 6 and take the 9?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like they do that. They do like Joe when Luke was
I
going.
don't think they do that.
No. Joe will say something. Like he'll say one thing to say, "Do you want to switch the case?"
Yeah.
Just that one thing. And that probably would have been the best idea, but they don't do it because they think of, your first gut or whatever. But
Yeah. Well, no, I
I've
mean,
noticed.
if I'm the host, I am asking you, are you sure you don't want to switch? Because like that's the gimmick of the host on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, I guess. But
That's half the fun. Making you second guess yourself, making every decision after that a flawed decision.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is Joe there to create the chaos, or is that the banker's job? I don't know.
Well, I mean, but Joe is the voice of the banker, so it is Joe by proxy.
I think sometimes they have, they want to keep some people in the game by giving little subliminal messages.
I don't know.
Just like the banker, they are putting subliminal messages within the show that's going to tell us who the banker is. Like season 1, they did all these little drops in each season, like the fireworks to show us it was Howie. So we definitely have
How did
to.
fireworks mean Howie?
America's Got Talent. America, yeah, it was like red, white, and blue. So that was a whole America's Got Talent because he's on that.
That's a reach.
No. That's actually what they said. I'm dead ass serious. Like in the show.
Well, I think it's a reach for them.
But that's what I'm saying. In the show, they dropped hints. So like, we hope that you got the hints we dropped. Obviously, no. I thought it was Donald Trump. I was saying Donald Trump the whole time. But it ended up being Howie. Great. Perfect.
Okay.
Now it's a girl.
Maybe it was going to be Donald Trump, and then he was like, you know what? Maybe I'll run for president.
He's like, I got to work on my ear or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Golden God gets a $2 million case. Letty gets a $4 million case. And when you show up with your case is important because we're doing partnering again. CK's first. MG is second, has the option, decides to go with CK. Storm and Dixon, Parv and Philip. Dr. Will is next. Letty goes by herself, tells Rock to join her. The Golden God joins Will, and Lachelle and Seychelle are last. And Philip gets the banker's bonus case, and his case says split up a pair. And it is revealed at this moment that Philip and Parv are safe, and the highest total is safe. And CK wants to throw Rock under the bus. And with that, we have.
I'm trying to figure out why CK picked Rock and Letty over, the other
because
people.
she knew the Rock had a small. She saw Rock as odd man out with not a lot of friends, and we hear multiple people saying the same thing. So it's and Rock wanted to go against the banker the previous episode, so you can put the Rock in a position in which you can put him up for to go against the banker, so up for possible elimination if he's wrong, but if he is right, you can attempt to convince him that you're the only person that has his back to hopefully control him moving forward.
Attempt, right? Because the way he acted was the same way I was. Like, he was like, I'm not telling anyone who I want to eliminate. Like, you can literally come cry on my shoulder all night and I'll say, yeah, I'll think about it, but I'll already know who I want to eliminate right in that moment. So I felt like I get what they did, but I felt like he could have been left alone and like a bigger threat been up there, like that's my case. I mean,
It's a
you
little
got
early to play the game. Like you like with
all the
Parvati
good
just
players
being
are
okay, with Parvati just being outed as being on Survivor, she's trying to minimize her threat level. There's jockeying going. The Golden Gods pretending to be a dumb model during this channel. Like there's lots of minimizing and shrinking targets this week. Moving into like it's episode
it's
3.
hard. I know it's hard being episode 3.
Yeah, but
It
like
is.
when I went on House of Villains, I'm just like, okay, if there are 6 supervillains of the week, I want to win number 4 and I want to win number 6. Like that's where I can do my damage on the show.
Right.
So and that's based on a cast of 10 people. What's the only what's it 12? How many people do we have?
13.
13.
Yeah.
So I'm probably making my move episode 5 or 6 and then towards the end.
Right. Yeah, like it was all about getting to know the people, but they were cutthroat from the beginning. I can't imagine who the next person would be.
I think CK's raised her hand to be the next person, whether she knows it or not.
Yeah, and she's been up the banker. She's played the banker twice already.
But I see someone making a move against, like I see her going home and not her facing the banker to do so.
Oh, I see. So somebody going up against banker just taking her out.
Yeah. I see either Parv or the Golden God or Parv convincing Philip to get rid of her.
Yeah, but then Philip also knows like about Parv and knows that she will like try to get the guys.
Philip knows work with Parvati as long as you can.
Right. So okay. And he's
right
not,
now is
I
the time where you can work with Parvati. It's still his decision at the end of the day.
Yeah. And he doesn't want to go against Parvati right away either. I want to say it's either CK. To be honest, I haven't seen much of Storm either. I mean, it's episode 3. You just kind of see these heartfelt, like heartthrob thing, but I haven't heard much about Storm, so I don't know if
Storm, on the preview for the rest of the season, it looked like lots of interactions between the Golden God and Dr. Will, which leads me to believe that because everyone's like, Dr. Will's going home immediately. I'm just like, I saw Dr. Will in like 8 different wardrobe change. Like I can imagine the Golden God changes clothes every other day. I feel so based on that, I feel like Will hangs out.
I in my jurisdiction from the ending, I think Will actually wins the whole game. That's my thing. Yeah, because I saw something that Joe said, and Joe was like, only a psychotic psycho would have gone all the way and taken and denied all of the personal offers and stuff that. And the only other psycho that I've noticed in the show is Will. So we'll see.
So maybe. So I feel the Golden God, the Dr. Will versus the Golden God. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like this is the Golden. Who knows?
Hey, well, that would be great. That would be great, right? I mean, he's got kids, he's married, go straight back to Australia, spend $1 million.
He just got a house in Austin, Texas.
Oh, so they're not in Australia no more, or
no? Yeah, no.
Texas, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
All my exes live in Texas.
It's where I hang my hat in Tennessee.
There we go. So you're off to Tennessee tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I'm actually Nashville. My bad. Yes, that part.
Yeah,
I keep getting it mixed up. I was like, is that where the Smoky Mountains are? I've been in the Smoky Mountains before. I was little, so I guess I have been in Nashville before.
There we go. So, MG and CK win. Congrats. And MG and CK are 2 different people, which it took episode 2 to figure that out. Congrats, MG.
What is
Still rooting
CK's
for you.
real name? Do we know this?
Calvin Klein.
Oh yeah, love that. I wear her underwear all the time.
Yes. So, well, don't worry. Calvin Klein is team female, and I'm like, all right. If I didn't like you before, just to tell me that you're a man hater does not help your case with me. So,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think. Well, she does have a girlfriend, right? So
Yeah,
I see that. I see
that's
that.
fine.
But I
I don't
also
have a problem
see
there.
like you see that most of the challenges you don't really need a man to get through these challenges, and then if you get to the last episode with a strong man,
Yeah,
you're
that's not
gonna
good.
be in some trouble. So I get where she's going with that thing. I wasn't in that, like I wasn't the person to want an all girls because I was not all girl alliance on season 1. So
Yeah,
we'll see how she goes. I mean, obviously,
I just like working with the people that I like
yeah,
and the people
and
that are
secretly,
like-minded.
yeah. I mean, sometimes
So,
it's good to work with the people who. I mean, I was in tent 3 and I worked with Nick and Amy, and we would go back to the tent and talk to each other about what we learned. But then out of the tent, we would disperse and pretend we
yeah,
didn't talk to each other. Like
divide and conquer.
right, exactly. Because if you're it's just hard to room with people and not necessarily work with them at the same time. So it was kind of an interesting thing on how everyone was rooming in this season. A lot more crazy stuff, and I don't even want to talk about the upgrades that season 2 had. Like,
Oh, I know you guys are so upset about the upgrades. Holy moly!
wouldn't be saying upset. We just had more of a survival feel. It's fine.
Sure,
It's
sure.
great. I'm not mad. You know what? Air conditioning. I didn't come on an island to have air conditioning, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't need air condition. It's
No,
I did Survivor. Trust me, I lived on the ground, so
right.
all
Like,
of it's an upgrade for me. So, the
yeah,
Golden
it's
God did say it was the coolest thing. Like he was just like, it's like Fairplay, you have to do it. It's
yeah,
like it's a
it's phenomenal.
lot more fun than Survivor.
It is. I really thought I'm not gonna lie, I really thought I was gonna have to survive. Like I even told him, I was like, I know, because my parents are doomsday preppers. I grew up my whole life surviving. My twin brother's an Eagle Scout. Like I know how to collect water with certain amount of things, on how to start a fire, all of that good stuff. So I was ready for it. I was like,
kicked out of the
huh?
I was a Boy Scout. I got kicked out of the Boy Scouts for eating brownies.
Oh, the Girl Scout brownie? What kind of brownies were that?
Yep. All right. CK wants power, and Parvati doesn't like that. So she's gonna blame CK for the move publicly. When CK did approach Philip and Parvati at the excursion, and Philip says, "I got 2 things I know I can do, and that's stay black and stay in my lane."
Good
And
for him.
I'm like, Philip, do you?
Yeah.
And
Do
Rock's
you,
like,
boo?
hey, I'll play. And I'm like, oh, Rock, you poor dumb bastard. And I'm not alone. Seychelles calls Rock a simpleton, and I have my notes. He must listen to my podcast. Or she she must listen to my podcast if she believes that Rock is a simpleton. and it's time for the Banker's Temple, where fate, fortune, and foliage collide. And you know what? I do make fun of Rock, and I mean it. But I do believe I'm gonna wear a floral print Hawaiian shirt for Rock tomorrow on the interview.
Yeah, you know what? His character was a character. If you came
Yeah,
onto that show and there
there's
was
not a lot.
nothing,
Very, very one-dimensional, but he tried.
you listen. He wasn't. I, I don't know. I don't know. I loved his personality.
I see
I
that.
wanted him to be that person to like just kind of be like Dr. Will, like coast on by and just be like, yeah, fuck you guys, woo.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, listen, he didn't cause too much drama. He wasn't too entertaining, right? So he's out,
No,
and then
he was not entertaining at
now we
all.
got the shit stirs. Now we got the
Yeah, no.
the,
I listen. I'm sure. If Rock came over to my house and we played some pinball and drank a
right,
couple beers, I think he'd be great.
right.
I
He's
have lots of friends like that I don't need to see on my television.
uh Yeah, go tell them that too. And
Yeah.
hey, he made it past thousands of people, so obviously they
Yeah.
saw something in his
Well,
resume.
it was they casted salt to the earth, good old boy. Like
They needed
I
that.
get the I get the but he he wasn't a home run.
No, and I think that let's when we talk about CK, the reason why CK I think approached Parvati and Philip was because Parvati already told her that she wasn't going to put them up.
Yeah.
So she was like, "All right, since you're not going to put us up, I'm going to let you know. Let's put
Here's
these
what I
guys."
want.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I got that part, and then Parvati was like, "Oh my god, like I don't want to hear somebody else's opinion. Let me form my own." And then she regretted it because Phil is the one that shouted out, was like, "We're gonna go for Letty and Rock." And then that's when Parvati started realizing, like, is this what I wanted to do? And I think that's what kind of got her upset with CK, because she's like, damn, like
It wasn't
I
her move.
was,
Part of me likes to own her moves, and that
yes,
move she because
yes,
part
it
of me's
wasn't her
thinking
move.
about thinking about a
Different plan.
what move uh begets the next move.
Yeah. What
And
helps
that
her game
and like
out?
it's like that like maybe like I'm sure Rock was in the immediate future, but maybe there was a person before Rock.
No, I agree. I think a person before Rock was going to be a girl, because again,
Yeah.
Parvati is the Black Widow. She likes to swindle the, I don't know if that's the best word, but with the men. She's this like the golden god.
No,
I think the
she gets rid
siren
of the
of the
she gets
sea.
rid of the guys first. She keeps the girls to the end.
Right. Well, but at the same time, I felt like she really liked Rock, or was that just fake? Because she was actually showing like, I really liked him. This is kind of bothering me.
I think that was based on what Phil said. That was Hearts and Flowers. That was bullshit.
Okay. Okay. Hearts and flowers. Well, I think she would have had a better option. Definitely splitting up another. Who else? If it wasn't them two, who did you want them to split up? In your just
I
what?
was okay with Rock going.
I wouldn't have done that for some
Yeah.
reason. I wasn't gonna. I wouldn't have done them two. I definitely would have thought about splitting up the Golden God and Will, just them two. But again, obviously that's not what they wanted.
But
But those were
I will say this, like in the this season on Deal No Deal Island, like the preview they showed for the remainder of the season, the
yeah.
only time they showed the entire group at the Banker Temple, the only like big shot
Uh-huh.
was one in which did not feature Rock or Sydney.
Yeah. Which I mean, yeah, when you first get those the videos coming out, we kind of noticed that too. They kind of
Yeah, and
give
it was just like,
hints.
all right, well, this he's I don't feel he's not there because like he's high fiving Joe like winning winning like I'm just like
I did see there's going to be a time where Wong goes up, and I think he does good. So we'll see. I saw that in the preview because he hasn't gone up
Dixon.
yet. So yeah, Dixon goes up and
Yeah.
he goes to play against the banker.
Yeah, it
I
looks like
did
something very insane happens with Dixon.
right,
Yeah.
right. So to me, that's what's insane. Either
Is
no
that
elimination.
psychopath as Joe was alluding to on the Tonight
If
Show with
it
Jimmy Fallon?
is, no, if it is, honestly, I don't care. That's great.
I'm okay with the Dixon
Yeah,
win.
I would love that. That would be 100%. Like
I have
I
no, like, especially the fact like he turned into a dick after getting like a little bit of juice from
good for
Harv and the
him.
Golden God. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the more Dixon becomes an asshole, the more I'm for it.
Yeah, no, and you know about his how he spoke about his childhood, how like
Yeah,
he was kind of given off, and like some
yeah,
people
no,
are weird.
we get the saddest origin story ever, and he's like, oh, by the way, I got two cool friends. Fuck all y'all.
Yes, and it's so cool too because I remember speaking to him because I do online reality games like Vanquish, Survivor, and he actually before getting on Deal or No Deal, he played Vanquish Survivor. So it was really cool that I actually got like he played, got on. So
How'd he
they had
do?
two Deal or No Deal people on this online reality game. Yeah, so it was really cool. So
How
if
did
it's
he do
him,
on Vanquish?
did he win? Don't know if he won. I'll have to figure out because that was
But
like
he made it
years
far.
ago. Probably. It's Dixon Wong. Who
Okay.
wants to freaking get him out, right away? Come on now. We'll see. We'll see
I
if he
did
got far. I know I
sequester, which
won
is
my first. I won my
Yeah.
first Vanquish, so.
No, I did Sequester, which is like that. I literally, because I was like, I know this shit's going to like 4 a.m. I was just like, you got me like, and it started like at 8. I was just like, you got me till 10 p.m., 11 at the latest. So just, it goes like, it was a live thing people could watch,
Yeah.
and they had like 25,000 viewers at the time. And I was just like, all right, I was just like, look, I have zero desire to win. This isn't strategy. Like, I will, if I'm still here at 11:01 p.m., I'm turning off my computer and leaving. I'm not this is not strategy. I do not but keep me here. I know what I bring to the table.
Right.
And they're
That's
like,
what
okay.
I say.
I
That's what I
was
say.
the second one out, and I'm just like, and they went from 25,000 viewers to 8,000 in a snap of a finger. I'm like,
Hey, that's
why
what
would
happens.
you do that? And they're like, because we didn't believe you. And I'm just like, there's no money.
Were you the one? Because Kim Matina, she played Sequester and won Sequester.
No, no, she did like a real. We just did a Survivor Sequester.
Oh, okay, I see.
It was like
Yeah,
a
I've
one night
done.
deal, and they all came after. Like, it was insane, and
It
I'm just
does
like, what are
happen
you
that way.
doing?
I try to tell people like, hey, like when I first, because I played Traders, Big Brother. I was a trader in Traders, and I've lasted pretty. I think I've done like Final Four in many. I don't think I've
Well,
gotten past.
attractive females tend to last longer
Well,
than
I
most.
also try to tell them like I've never played Traders. I was like, if you guys can allow me to just coast through and learn, that would be great. And so that was kind of like I genuinely was learning along the way, but it was
Sure.
a good thing because they let me stay. And then once I got a hang of it, I was like, oh, plow right through them.
Yeah, there we go. So, well,
Good times with that.
let's see. CK doesn't like Will's financial situation and his penis because he has one. It what? It's just Miranda.
Well,
I
you're
don't
gonna
write
have to
these
show us.
notes. I just read them. I have writers that do this.
It's okay. We'll believe her.
Sure. MG wore her PJ silk robe as a dress to the temple. Apparently, she's already run out of clothes.
Wait, the
Right?
purple thing?
Yeah.
I thought that was a dress.
I'm pretty sure it was a silk PJ robe, and
No. That's a dress.
I'm under the impression MG. She's from a poor town in South Carolina. She brought 4 things of clothes.
That is a lie. She doesn't.
I don't know.
No, there's no way.
It could be.
There's no. First of
Who's
all,
to say?
I would love that robe. Well, you know what's weird is at the end
You want
of
that robe? You hear that,
I
MG?
do. I would love
you want
if it was a
robe
robe.
that you call a dress.
Well, I did look at it and I said, I love her outfits. I'm looking at these girls' outfits, guys. Okay, like they're great.
I hear you. It's not as cool. You have cooler PJs. You have the Jonny Fairplay Legend PJs.
I do. I will put that on very shortly, actually. But let me tell you this.
You're supposed to wear for the podcast.
I know. I got home late. I can bring it out right now.
Let
me talk about this.
Next time. Save it.
Oh, I almost forgot what I was gonna say. No. There was a moment. I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, okay. Here was MG. So
MG.
in the when the show was ending, it showed her talk about Will, right? But it showed her in a different outfit. It showed her in a green shirt.
Yeah, no, I was kidding. She has more outfits than that.
I know, but I was confused. I'm like, why would they? What clip is that?
I don't know. They're very weird about about their previously the show is cut very odd.
No, but here's the thing: the way they ended MG talking about Will, and then in a different clip, in a different outfit, I'm like, okay, so what's next? Why?
Yeah, MG says she wants Will to go. She wants Will to go home, and he's a nut.
So
and she is wearing a different outfit for whatever reason.
So maybe next episode is about like people coming after Will, and then maybe Will going up against the banker and then winning and then getting somebody out and continuing. Sure. I just guessed, right?
Yeah,
it's fine.
Okay.
But
I mean, we see in the preview Will versus the banker, and I don't feel like Will is ingratiating himself upon anyone. So sooner than later might be the time for Will to make his move. But as far as this banker decision is concerned, Rock chooses lucky number 8. And that will be his case. So now it's time to eliminate the cases. He chooses case number 9 because 6 + 3 is 9, and that's the highest value case. Next, he chooses 3, the third highest value. Then he chooses 10, the 5th
Mhm.
highest value. And then he chooses case 1, which is the second highest value. The worst round in the history of Deal or No Deal Island ever.
Yeah, I know. He was like, "You were all the girl banker called up and she's like, you're almost as bad as the $1 deal Luke." And I'm like, dang, they really throwing Luke out there again.
Oh, low budget Dax Shepard. Yeah, he sucked.
Oh man.
Yes.
Hey, I mean, that really sucked. But again, at the
Luke is
same
going
time,
around
like,
signing dollar bills. You know that? That's his
what was
gimmick.
it?
Luke's going around signing dollar bills now. That's his gimmick.
Shit, I gotta just start doing that.
Why do you need to do that?
It's just, I mean, if that's what he's doing, that's what he's doing. I ain't really doing
You
much
could
about.
sign like cans of Raid.
Oh, right.
You
Well,
gotta embrace the gimmick.
right. I just need to
I
start.
mean, you don't walk around with $40,000 bills.
No, maybe, but maybe I'll just send some insects to people's houses. How about that?
Jesus, wow.
And then you guys will have to sign up. We'll
Oh my
talk
God,
about it.
I'm upset you have my address.
Oh yeah, I have a PO box, but I can definitely bring it somewhere.
All right. Let's see. He gets an offer of $133,000. Take the deal. And Dr. Will says, no, don't take it. I'm sure you do say don't take it, Dr. Will. All right. Would you have taken that deal?
No. Here's the thing. Not with that board. There was all the small ones. All the small ones are always there. Then they're the big ones. I would have kept going until I knew that there was less. I just would have kept going. It was such a small board. You had big numbers. Like he had a
He had
probable
taken
chance.
out every big number but 2.
I mean, at that point, it's crazy. I get it, but man, he could have bounced back if he didn't freaking listen to anybody. If he listened to himself and played for himself, he probably still would be in the game because he even said himself before. He's like,
He knew
I
the case
have the
he had.
case.
Yeah.
Yes, and then Parvati was like, take it, and everyone raised their hand. They're like, take the deal, and it's
Well, we're
just
not
like,
even we're on the first deal. I feel like the first
yeah.
deal. Okay. Anyway, well, he says no deal. He has picked 4 more cases. I'm like, this is painful. So, but he does a little better this time. Choose number 2. It's 1 penny. Number 5 is 500. Number 7 is 1,000. Number 6, though, 2.9525 million. That one stung. And so he gets an offer for 250,000. And Lachelle's just like, hey, you can do what you want. And everyone's saying take the deal. And he was like, I would go. I wanted to go one more last time. I think you should go one more this time. And I'm like, these people are insane. What are you talking about?
I love that. That's what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, listen, like in my head, I was watching and I'm like, just do one more because if you take it, the probability, I don't know, I would have been in hers. Everyone else is telling them take the deal, and it's like, no. You think of what you had to think about. And again,
probability wise, the correct move was to take the first deal. The correct move this time was take the second deal. Well, guess what? He doesn't take the deal. It's a bad deal. It's 1.3 million in the case. He knew it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If he didn't take any deals, he would have won.
Yeah.
He would have stayed in the game. So, I mean, it's good that he didn't take the first deal. We made it past that. Then there's a second deal. We could have made it past that, but then he just listened to everybody. Again, in his head, he kept saying, I feel like I have this, but he's like, I want to put money in the bank for everyone. And in my head, I'm like, yo, fuck that, dude. What are we doing? Like, again, yeah, we're working for everyone, but you got to save yourself.
Yeah. I think with the gesture for the compassionate gesture for everyone else, I think showed what we really didn't get to see in 3 episodes is this guy was a good dude.
100%. Yeah, he really was. Like, I was actually sad to see him go because I wanted to root for him. I mean, I'm rooting for other people, but I wanted to root for him. He was kind of like an underdog, and I wish he would have done his own gut feeling because I wanted to be surprised who he was going to pick. The production didn't know he was going to pick anybody. We didn't know. The audience didn't know. So we would have been so surprised, hopefully, on who he would have chosen to go home.
I'm curious. Maybe I would imagine.
You should definitely ask because I'm so curious too.
I'm sure someone. It's a group setting, so we'll see who gets that question. So, but in Rock's Afterthoughts, he reveals that he's never going to give up on his dreams, and apparently that means he's never going to give up on getting a Cybertruck.
Oh, good for him. I mean, they have great what is it called? When I was talking to Dawson, because Dawson had like a Range Rover, and he said that, it was cheaper to actually get a truck. So good for him. Maybe they
There
should
we go.
talk. Maybe he can help him out a little bit,
Well,
But
here's the crazy thing. So after that, he also says, and maybe Finding My Dream is going to be on Naked and Afraid. I have never
I see
seen
it.
someone do a show on network television and make a pitch to be on a cable show.
Honestly, that was great. I could picture him doing it. Let him do it. Do we want to see him
looked
naked?
like
No.
So I'm friends with a few Naked and Afraid people, and I feel fortunate in the fact that the Naked and Afraid people that I know are on the better looking side of things. But there are many people on Naked and Afraid that are on the lesser looking side of things. And
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have zero desire to see them naked, and thinking about them naked makes me afraid. Rock is one of those.
And it really does showcase the whole name, Naked and Afraid. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he wouldn't be afraid. Maybe others around him would be afraid. It could be
Yeah.
a strategy he has.
I don't know. He might be packing heat. It's which I will give a peek behind the curtain story. So Stephen Lee Hall Jr., who's been on Naked and Afraid, I think he has the right. He's been on about 8 times. And my first year at Hearts Reality over the Edge Celebrity Weekend, I had a room, and my friend Matt Bischoff from Survivor, he was sharing a room with Stephen Lee Hall Jr. And Stephen Lee Hall Jr., he does Naked and Afraid. In addition to that, he's a painter. And so, he was showing Matt pictures on his phone of he had done like some dog paintings and stuff. And Matt Bishop was like, dude, I got a French bulldog. Could you paint a picture of my French bulldog? And he was like, sure. He's like, actually, I've done one before. Let me show you. So he hands Matt his phone, with the picture. Okay, well, Matt, apparently no one has ever passed Matt a phone before to look at a picture on their phone.
Yeah.
Matt just starts scrolling all willy-nilly, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Steven, he goes, Fairplay. Dude, the digitizing, like, they must spend a small fortune digitizing the thing. It's a third arm.
Oh my God. Honestly, he probably knew that was going to happen. He's like, let's just go. Just keep scrolling. You'll find it.
No. Stephen Lee Hall Jr. is like, what are you doing? You don't want to see that. I assure you.
Holy crap. That's interesting. How are you going to be doing shit like with that thing? And but I don't
so
really.
I
haven't
looking
watched
up Stephen Lee Hall Jr. at the next over the edge.
I will be. Yes, I'll be looking up the IMD. But the thing is, they how long is Naked and Afraid again when they're out there?
Oh, they have different one. I think most of them are a 21-day challenge, and then for the XLs, I think they're like 40 and 60 day.
Nice.
I know. So, but they do a fan one that's like 14 days. So I think if they ever did like a celebrity version, which I don't think Rock counts as a celebrity.
Sign me up. No, I'm pinching on a podcast. Let's do it, guys. Let's do
it. I don't know. Like my whole thing is,
can we grow out our hair?
I have sensitive feet.
Oh, shush. Get over it. Come on. I'm not playing that with you. Sensitive feet. Is it
I do. No, I'm serious. Like when I wake up, the first thing I do is put on a pair of socks or my bedroom slippers. Like the first thing I do.
Is it because it's cold? You're cold?
Yeah. I mean, but I just I don't like I don't like being barefoot. So like I had there was a website
it's like a sensory issue.
There was a website like 15 years ago, like flipflopperotic.com. It was like celebrities and flip-flops. It's like Jonny Fairplay loves wearing rainbow. Like there's a whole thing is just like that I love wearing rainbow flip-flops, and I do. And they knew, like, they had called, like, because I've been on like 90 television shows, and like they're just like, here's Johnny and rainbow flip. These are black rainbow flip flops.
Oh my gosh, did you get money off of that? That's Feet Pick. That's like Feet Finder. You better get money from that. What the heck?
I need it. I think the website's been somebody shut them down.
Yeah, they better, because your feet's everywhere. You need to charge people for that.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so what? This is a pretty good episode.
It was great.
It's very hot.
It really makes me wonder who's next, because I'm like trying to piece everything together, and I'm thinking it's going to be something towards CK and Dr. Will and some sort of. I could be completely wrong, but I'm here for some drama. Episode 4, I would love some like cattiness a little bit come in, like something to like solidify. Like, you got to stay here and watch.
Yeah,
Right. I
no,
mean,
I'm
Rob
ready.
went, Sydney went, Sydney. Hopefully, I'm saying her right name.
Yeah.
They went. They're like, they're great people, but they weren't like, it wasn't like two people hating each other and finally
Yeah,
getting
I'm
them
ready.
out. It
I'm
was
ready for
just,
that. It's crazy because like we have Deal or No Deal Island, which is a NBCU, Peacock,
yep.
front center production, and at the same time, also through Peacock NBCU is Traders, and they're
Yeah,
both part of the same family, but they're kind of competing against each other for eyeballs. And
that's
right
true.
now, Traders is bringing it.
I know,
You
I
know?
know. Dude, Boston Rob on Traders was absolutely freaking crazy. Let's just
Yeah,
talk about that. Well, we don't have to right now, but
yeah.
like that's insane. The fact that he's also
I
on
did
the
a whole
after show.
podcast. Me and Rachel Riley. Go watch it.
Yeah,
It's great.
it like I will. And he was
Yeah.
actually like, yeah, he's on the after show. Now he's on Traders. Boston Rob, you are living life, buddy. That's the life that I would love.
Oh, yeah.
He's living in Florida, loving life. He's got his 4 daughters, his marriage, his I thought the banker might have been his wife, since he was out
Could
there
be.
doing an after show, and then maybe it's Amba, you know? You
Look
don't
at
want to
you.
fuck with
You've learned
him.
all kinds of stuff.
I'm learning continuously. It's a great thing to do. Like, I'm here for it.
All right. Well, Miranda, where can everybody find you on the socials?
Let me tell you, I have a little flip book, but I won't bring that out. You could just find me, Miranda Rose Harrison. I made it easy for everybody. Miranda Rose Harrison.
Yeah.
That's usually it.
Not on the TikTok.
No, not on TikTok.
You were pretty torn up for 2 hours.
No, I don't use TikTok like that. I was
I
actually
know. I don't either.
happy. I was actually the person I was like, all right, next is Instagram. Let's see how you guys fucking act without social media. Let's see the real survival happen. Because I
Yeah.
tell you this, I'm not going to have, if the shit hits the fan, the world's coming to an end, I'm not going to get TikTokers to help me survive. Okay?
No,
It's
no.
not happening.
I just hate dancing and like lip syncing. Like those are like two of my least favorite things on the planet.
So much. And just I mean, because sometimes they have to post, because if they don't post they lose views, so sometimes they will post just the most random
Yeah.
uh just the most stupidest shit, and of course we're viewing it. So there's moments where I will like try my best to stay off the phone so I'm not a viewer, and because every view they get paid. And I'm not a hater at all.
Sounds like you're hating.
I just don't get
You
on
drink a little
TikTok.
haterade.
I'm just the type of person, like, we should have a game show when it's people who don't use social media and it's people who use social media, and like, let's just go head and head. Let's see who survives.
There we go.
That's all I gotta say. And
All
hey,
right.
I'll learn TikTok, but I'm not good at it, so I'm a hater in that way, I guess.
Sure. I just hate it. So, well, I'm at Jonny Fairplay on all the socials. Well, at Fairplay Talk on TikTok, that I barely ever TikTok. But at Jonny Fairplay, no H in Johnny. Links to everything, including my cameo and everything else, at JonnyFairplay.com. That's JonnyFairplay. And where are we going to Thailand? Where are we going? Thailand?
Where
Dubai?
are we going?
Where are we going for the mixed martial arts fights in the private jet?
Oh yes, we're gonna go to Dubai.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay. Well, neither can I. And everybody, you're not invited to Dubai. But with that, thank you, Miranda. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, NBC Universal. We will be. I'll be chatting with you guys, talking to The Rock tomorrow. So look for that. So everybody, click the like, subscribe, share button. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, leave a comment. You're wonderful. Until then, bye, everybody.
God bless.